The Testing by Joelle Charbonneau. Chapter 1. Graduation Day. I can hardly stand still as my mother straightens my celebratory red tunic and tucks a strand of light brown hair behind my ear. Finally, she turns to me and I look in the reflector on our living area wall. Red. I'm wearing red. No more pink. I am an adult. Seeing evidence of that tickles my stomach. Are you ready, Sia? My mother asks. She too is wearing red, although her dress is made of a gossamer fabric that drapes to the floor in soft swirls. Next to her, my sleeveless dress and leather boots look childish, but that's okay. I have time to grow into my adult status. I'm young for it at 16, the youngest by far in my class. I take one last look in the reflector and hope that today is not the end of my education, but I have no control over that. Only a dream that my name will be called for the testing. Swallowing hard, I nod. Let's go. Graduation is held in the colony square, among the stalls filled with baked goods and fresh milk, because the school isn't large enough to hold all the people who will attend. The entire colony attends graduation, which only makes sense since everyone in the colony is related to at least one of the students crossing over to adulthood or celebrating their promotion to the next grade. This year is the largest graduating class the Five Lakes colony has had. 8 boys, 6 girls. A clear sign the colony is thriving. My father and 4 brothers, all dressed in ceremonial adult purple, are waiting for us outside our dwelling. My oldest brother, Zine, shoots me a smile and ruffles my hair. Are you ready to be done with school and get out into the real world with the rest of us slobs? My mother frowns. I laugh. Zine and my other brothers are definitely not slobs. In fact, girls practically throw themselves at them. But while my brothers aren't immune to flirting, none of them seems interested in settling down. They're more interested in creating the next hybrid tomato plant than starting a family. Zine, most of all. He's tall, blonde, and smart. Very, very smart. And yet, he never got chosen for the testing. The thought takes away the shine from the day. Perhaps that's the first rule I will learn as an adult, that you can't always get what you want. Zine must have wanted to continue on to the university, to follow in Dad's footsteps. He must know what I'm feeling. For a moment, I wish I could talk to him, ask him how he got through the disappointment that is most likely awaiting me. Our colony will be lucky to have one student chosen for the testing, if any at all. It's been 10 years since the last student from Five Lakes was chosen. I'm good at school, but there are those who are better, much better. What chance do I have? With a forced smile, I say, You bet. I can't stay in school if I plan on running the colony by the time all of you are married. Hart and Wynne blush. They are 2 years older than me, and the idea of marriage and dating makes them run for cover. The 2 of them are happy working side by side in the nursery, growing the flowers and trees Dad has created to withstand the corrupted earth at the outskirts of the colony. No one will be doing much of anything if we don't get moving. Mother's voice is sharp as she heads off down the path. My brothers and father follow quickly. Zine's and Hammond's lack of marriage prospects is a sore spot for our mother. Because of Dad's job, our house is farther from the center of the colony than most. My brothers and father have made the ground around our small house bloom green with plants and trees, but 100 feet past our front door, the earth is cracked and brittle. Though some grass and a few scraggly trees do grow. Dad tells me the earth to our west is far worse, which is why our leaders decided to place the Five Lakes colony here. Usually, I ride my bicycle to town. A couple of citizens own cars, but fuel and solar cells big enough to run them are too precious for everyday use. Today, I trail behind my family as we walk the almost 5 miles to the colony's community square. Square is really the wrong word, but we use it anyway. It's shaped more like a turtle with an oval center and some appendages to the side. There's a beautiful fountain in the middle that sprays clear, sparkling water into the air. The fountain is a luxury since clean water is not always easy to come by. But we are allowed the waste and the beauty in order to honor the man who discovered how to remove the contamination from the lakes and ponds after stage 7. What is left of the oceans is harder to clean. The ground becomes greener and birds sing the closer we get to the center of the colony. Mum doesn't talk much on the way. Scene teases her that she doesn't want me to grow up, but I don't think that's the case. Or maybe it is. Mom and I get along fine, but the past couple of years she has seemed distant, less willing to help me with my homework, more interested in getting the boys married and talking about where I will apprentice when I finish school. Any discussion of me being selected for the testing is not welcome. So I talk to her less and less, and to my father more and more. He doesn't change the subject when I speak about going further in my education, although he doesn't actively encourage me. He doesn't want to see me disappointed, I guess. The sun is hot and sweat drips down my back as we trek up the final hill. The sounds of music and laughter from just out of sight have me quickening my step. Just before we reach the top, Dad puts his arm around me and asks me to wait while the others go on ahead. The excitement over the hill pulls at me, but I stay put and ask, "Is something wrong?" His eyes are filled with shadows, even though his smile is bright. "Nothing is wrong," he says. "I just wanted a moment with my little girl before things get too crazy. Everything changes the minute we go over that hill." "I know. Are you nervous?" "Kind of." Excitement, fear, and other emotions swirl inside me, making it hard to tell what I'm really feeling. It's weird not knowing what I'm going to do when I get up tomorrow. Most of my classmates have made choices about their future. They know where they will apprentice or if they will move to another colony to find work. Some even know who they are going to marry. I know none of these things, although my father has made it clear that I can work with him and my brothers if I choose. The option seems bleak at best, since my thumb is anything but green. The last time I helped my father, I almost destroyed the sunflower seedling he'd spent months creating. Mechanical things I fix. Plants I kill. You're going to get up and face whatever comes. I'll be proud of you no matter what today brings. Even if I don't get accepted for the testing? Especially if you don't get accepted for the testing. He smiles and gently pokes me in the belly. When I was little, that never failed to send me into fits of laughter. Today, it still makes me grin. It's nice to know some things never change, even though I doubt my father's teasing words. Dad went to the university. That's where he learned to genetically alter plants and trees to survive in the blighted soil. He doesn't talk about it much, or the colony he grew up in, probably because he doesn't want us to feel pressured by his success. But I do. You think I won't get accepted? My father frowns. I think you're smarter than you give yourself credit for. You never know who the search committee might pick or why. 5 of us from my grade were selected and tested. The other 4 always did better in class, but I was the only one who made it to the university. The testing isn't always fair, and it isn't always right. But you're not sorry you went. Look at the amazing things you do every day because of it. The trees next to us are filled with blooms, promising apples in the months to come. Bushes of wild blackberries grow next to daisies and other flowers I never learned the names of, but I know Dad was part of creating. When I was small, these things didn't exist. At least, not the healthy versions dotting the hills today. Even now, I can remember the empty ache of going to bed hungry. Food had been scarce as Dad worked with farmers to make things grow. And they had. In Five Lakes Colony, we are careful not to waste, but hunger is no longer our primary concern. My father is the reason why. I can't be sorry about something I had no choice in. His eyes go far away as the birds chirp around us. Finally he smiles, although his eyes never clear of whatever memories are capturing his attention. Besides, I wouldn't have moved here and met your mother if I hadn't gone to the university. Then where would I be? Probably living at home with your parents and making your mother worry that you'll never get serious about your future. The clouds disappear from their depths, and his eyes twinkle as he ruffles my hair. Sounds like a fate worse than death. Which is what my mother makes it sound like every time she tells Zine that life is passing him by. Come on, your mother is going to sound the alarm if we don't get moving. I just want you to remember one thing. I believe in you, no matter what. Arm in arm, we start up and over the hill to join the festivities. I smile, but deep in my heart I worry that Dad has always expected me to fall short of his achievements, that I will disappoint, no matter what. Because the colony is spread out over many miles, this is the one guaranteed occasion every year when the entire population of 5 Lakes gathers together. Once in a while, we all congregate when there is a message from our country's leaders that needs to be delivered to everyone, but those occasions are rare. At just over 900 citizens, our colony is one of the smallest and farthest from Tosu City, where the United Commonwealth Government is based. We don't rank much attention, which is fine by most of us. We do well on our own. Outsiders aren't shunned, but they aren't exactly embraced with wide open arms. They have to convince us they belong. The square is quite large, but the space feels small with so many people dressed in their ceremonial finery. Shops for candles, baked goods, shoes, and all sorts of household items line the outside edge of the square. The shops will close when graduation begins, but now they are doing a brisk business as citizens who don't often get into town purchase or trade for necessary items. The United Commonwealth coin is rare in our colony, but a few people on the government payroll, like Dad, use it. Sia! The waving hand catches my attention as my best friend Daleen comes barreling toward me. Her blonde hair and pink dress flutter as she dodges groups of chatting citizens to reach me. She clutches a cone with rapidly melting pink ice cream in her hand. Squeezing me in a tight hug, she says, "Can you believe you're graduating? This is so exciting. They're even giving away free ice cream." I hug her back, careful to avoid the melting cone. My mother will have a fit if I get a stain on my new dress before graduation begins. Exciting and scary. Don't forget the scary part. Daleen is the only one I've talked to about my fears of the future if I don't get chosen for the testing. She looks around to make sure no one is listening and says, "My father heard there's a special guest who's supposed to speak today." Graduation day has a lot of speakers. Our teachers will speak, as will the magistrate and a number of other 5 Lakes leaders. When the entire colony gets together, there is never a lack of things to talk about. So the special guest doesn't sound all that special until Daleen adds, "My father says the guest is from Tosu City." That gets my attention. Someone from Tosu is here? The last time an official from Tosu came to 5 Lakes Colony was 3 years ago when our old magistrate died. 2 men and a woman came to the colony to select the new colony leader. Mostly Tosu City communicates with us through proclamations or radio communications with our magistrate. That's what my father heard. Daleen licks the melted ice cream streaking the back of her hand. Dad thinks he's here to get scored a candidate for the testing. That could be you. For a moment, her smile falters. I'll really miss you. Daleen and I are only 2 weeks apart in age and have been best friends since the age of 3. Her parents enrolled her in school at the mandatory age of 6. My parents decided to send me at 5, which is why we are not in the same class. She is the shyer, smarter, and gentler of the 2 of us. She is also the one less likely to make new friends unless someone else is there to get the conversation going. Without me pushing her to engage others in conversation during lunch and hang out after classes, she will probably eat alone and go home to an empty, sad house long before everyone else leaves the school grounds. Her mother died 2 years ago in an accident, and her father, while nice, isn't home much, leaving Daleen alone to deal with the chores and the memories. I try to keep her in good spirits while we're at school, but some days the shadows overwhelm her. I worry one day those shadows will swallow her whole without someone to chase them away. I give her another quick hug and say, every year there's a rumor about a Tosu official coming to graduation. Although a small part of me can't help yearning for this year's rumor to be true. To distract myself as much as Daleen, I add, now I want to get some of that ice cream before it's gone, okay? I enlist other friends, many of them going into their final years of school, in our search for strawberry ice cream. hoping that one of them will take Daleen under their wing when classes begin again in a few weeks. If not, I will find a way to make things easier for Daleen. My mother waves at me and frowns, so I leave a smiling Daleen with the other students and cross the square to the fountain where she waits. Almost everyone I pass waves or says hello. Our family moves to new dwellings almost every year, to whatever section of the colony the magistrates thinks needs Dad's skills the most. All the moving makes it hard to feel attached to a home, but unlike most citizens who know only their neighbors and former schoolmates, I know the majority of the people in our colony by sight. Kids still too young for school, dressed in pale yellows and greens, dance around the 12-foot wide circular fountain, occasionally splashing each other with the water. But they avoid the area where my mother is seated. Her expression says that getting her wet will bring a scolding. Something I'm probably going to get no matter what. My mother studies me. Your hair is a mess. What have you been doing? My hair is always a mess between the curls and the frizz. I've suggested cutting it short, but my mother insists that long, cascading hair is a necessary asset for an unmarried young woman. If my hair even came close to cascading, I might agree with her. The sound of drums and trumpets compels my mother to stop her assault on my hair. My insides do a flip, then another. It's time to take my place among the students. Graduation is about to begin. My father and brothers appear out of the crowd and give me hugs before I head for the raised platform where my fellow graduates and I are expected to stand throughout the ceremony. It's often said that getting through 11 years of school is easier than standing through the 2 or more hours it takes to leave it. I am hoping whoever said that was just joking. We line up as directed across the back of the stage. Boys in back, girls in front. Which I am thankful for because otherwise I wouldn't be able to see anything. My brothers inherited my mother and father's height, whereas I am a throwback to another generation. At 5 feet 2 inches, I am the shortest girl in my class. Miss Jorhan, our teacher, fusses with our positioning and reminds us at least a dozen times to smile, stand straight, and pay attention. This is her first graduation day in Five Lakes Colony, so she is no doubt nervous. Once she is happy with our arrangement on the stage, she takes her place in the middle of the platform, and the trumpets and drums sound again. Magistrate Owens appears in the doorway of her house, the only 3-story structure on the square, and walks stiffly through the crowd. She is a robust, gray-haired woman with deep lines on her face. Her red dress is a darker color than most, more of a rust tone. The minute she reaches the podium at the front of the stage, she leans into the microphone that is set to amplify her voice across the square and announces, "Happy Graduation Day." We all say the words back to her, and several citizens applaud. Magistrate Owens waits for the square to grow quiet again before saying, "Graduation Day is an exciting time for us all, but especially for the students behind me. After today, they will become a very welcome addition to our colony's workforce. 25 years ago, the United Commonwealth Government decided to send 150 men, women, and children to this area. They created Five Lakes Colony in the hopes that our hard work could make the scarred earth that was once rich with farmland and forests thrive. The 5 lakes that we were named after were once called the Great Lakes. With the aid of our citizens, we are helping restore them to their original name. We have needed every member of our community to make this happen. Graduation Day adds 14 of you to our cause, and for that we are fortunate. Each step we take forward creates the need for more hands to help cultivate progress. Trust me when I say we can never have enough hands. I know many of you have not yet decided what careers you will embark upon, but all of us are grateful for whatever work you will do here in the years to come." The crowd applauds. My heart swoops with nerves and excitement as Magistrate Owens announces, "Let the Graduation Day Parade begin." I bite my lip to keep it from trembling as the trumpets and drums take up a marching melody. My eyes blur with unshed tears, blinding me for a moment to the entrance of my soon-to-be former schoolmates. Every year, the students from the school parade into the square one class at a time to great applause. Each class makes a banner that 2 students carry at the front to announce what lessons were learned this year. After the ceremony, the banners will be displayed in the square, and the favorite one will be voted on. There is often friendly betting among the adults as to which class will win. For the first time, I am not among those parading, and it hits me that I never will be again. The youngest class leads the parade, followed by the next oldest, and so on. They march around the fountain to the beat of the drums and over to an area left of the stage that is roped off for them. When all 10 classes are standing near the stage, Magistrate Owens talks about the new train system that has been developed between Tosu City and 10 of the other colonies, and the plans to continue construction until all colonies are reachable by rail. From my place on the stage, I can see the crowd's excitement at the news. When she is done relating news from the United Commonwealth, Magistrate Owens invites the citizens in charge of water, power, agriculture, and other revitalization projects to make announcements. These take more than an hour and range from reminders about proper water usage to requests for volunteers to help build dwellings for newly married couples. Even my father makes an announcement about a new, hardier breed of potato that his team developed. I blink and try not to show my surprise. Not at the new potato, that I knew about. The old strain of potato had a half-inch hard skin that turned black when exposed to air. Something to do with whatever genetic enhancement Dad gave it to survive in the blighted soil in the first place. For the most part, no one cared about the black skin. Once you cut away the outside, the potato was safe to eat. But Zine decided to try his hand at a new version and succeeded brilliantly. So no, it is not the potatoes that have caught me off guard, but the words Dad uses to announce them. Last week, he told us that Zine was going to get full credit for the project. But he doesn't. Zine's name is never mentioned. I crane my neck, trying to see Zine in the crowd. Does he look disappointed? This was supposed to be a moment of triumph for him. Is he as confused as I am? I find him leaning against a tree in the middle of the applauding crowd. Several people are slapping him on the back because he is a member of Dad's team. But his smile doesn't fool me. The set of his jaw and the narrowing of his eyes tell me better than words that he has felt the slight. Dad leaves the stage to more applause, and our teacher takes his place. My stomach clenches and my breathing quickens. This is it. I am about to graduate. Miss Jorhan smiles back at us. Then she says into the microphone, I am very proud to read the roster of graduates who today pass from their studies into adulthood. One by one, she announces the names of our graduating class. One by one, my classmates walk to the center of the stage, shake Magistrate Owens' hand, and then take their place back in line. The names are read in alphabetical order, so mine isn't called until the end. Malencia Vale. My legs are unsteady from nerves and stiff from standing. I walk over to the podium and shake both Miss Jorhan's hand and the magistrate's hands while the crowd applauds. Dalen's cheers can be heard over all the others, and her smile makes me respond with one of my own. My heart soars. I'm officially an adult. I did it. Still grinning, I return to my place with my class as Magistrate Owens takes the podium. The crowd goes silent. A ripple of anticipation makes my stomach churn. My hands clench and unclench in anticipation. If any students have been selected for the testing, this is when it will be announced. I crane my neck, trying to spot an unknown face in the crowd, the rumored Tosu City official. Only there is no Tosu City official. Magistrate Owens gives us all a big smile and says, "Congratulations to all of this year's students, and especially to our graduates. I can't wait to see what your futures hold." The crowd cheers again, and my lips curl into an automatic smile, even as disappointment and tears lodge in my throat. I have been preparing for this day for years, and now it is over, as are my dreams for the future. No matter how hard I worked, I wasn't good enough to be chosen for the testing. As I leave the stage and am given hugs of congratulations by my friends, I can only wonder, What will I do now?